Orcas take control of the encounter from the very moment they appear. They pressure even the largest ocean giants with powerful, coordinated moves. When facing other predators, the group forms a calculated encirclement with remarkable precision. Intelligence and tight social coordination gradually shift the advantage in their favor. So which moment stands as the most dramatic orca attack in the history of the ocean? Across the world's oceans, orcas stand as independent clans, each shaped by its own distinct culture. From big groups that specialize in hunting marine mammals to families that pursue whales, every population carries a unique identity. A strong matriarchal structure allows leading females to pass down survival knowledge across generations. Their presence plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of life throughout the global ocean. Seals thrive in cold ocean regions thanks to their streamlined bodies and thick layers of blubber that retain heat. They can dive to great depths and reach speeds of around 22 miles per hour beneath the surface. However, their greatest vulnerability lies in their reliance on ice floes for resting and breeding. This fragile boundary between ice and water creates the perfect opportunity for orcas to deploy a highly calculated hunting strategy. Once a target is identified, a group of 3 to 5 orcas quickly forms a horizontal line. They swim in parallel just inches below the surface. They accelerate together to about 20 miles per hour, heading straight towards the edge of the ice. With precise timing, their powerful tail strokes generate a strong wave that surges upward across the surface. As the ice begins to fracture, the seal clings to its final point of support. Below, the orcas use their snouts to push broken ice pieces away. They limit all possible escape routes. A series of coordinated waves from the wave washing technique increases the pressure. This eventually forces the seal off the surface. The moment it enters the water marks a complete shift in control. Through seamless coordination and precision, orcas demonstrate exceptional hunting intelligence. Their success rates reach around 80%. In this environment, the setting no longer protects the prey. It instead becomes a tool that works in favor of the predator. The great white shark stands as one of the ocean's most formidable predators. It possesses a streamlined body weighing around 2,000 pounds. It is equipped with a highly refined electroreception system. Sudden ambushes from the depths allow it to dominate most prey. In its domain, it exists as a solitary hunter with almost no rivals. However, That balance begins to shift when the dark dorsal fin of an orca appears off the coast of California. A classic encounter between two apex forces is set into motion with remarkable precision. One orca swims along the outer edge to draw attention. Meanwhile, another moves silently below to approach from the shark's blind zone. With no wasted motion, a single orca accelerates upward from beneath. It closes in along the side with a powerful burst of force. The precise impact induces a state of tonic immobility. This response places the shark into a temporary inactive condition. The situation quickly turns as the orcas coordinate to access a nutrient-rich resource. This process is completed within roughly 15 minutes. That cognitive advantage continues to stand out when orcas confront rays in the waters off Mexico. When facing animals equipped with a venomous tail spine, they deliberately maintain distance and observe with caution. When the right moment appears, a precise tail strike generates hydrodynamic pressure. This disrupts the ray's ability to control its direction. Their flexibility in adapting to each target allows orcas to take command of the encounter. The ocean is defined by harsh boundaries, where one species' advantage becomes another's weakness. Sea lions are adapted to both water and land. In the water, they are agile, accelerate quickly, and control their movement with precision. On land, their heavy bodies make them slower and more vulnerable. To exploit this weakness, orcas use large waves during high tide to approach the shoreline. An unaware individual resting near the water's edge quickly becomes a target. With a sudden burst of speed, an orca launches its multi-thousand-pound body onto the shore. It slides forward with momentum, closing the distance in an instant. The approach happens in a split second, enough to secure the target before it can react. After gaining control, the orca pivots its body and uses the receding water to return to deeper areas. Every movement is calculated to reduce the risk of becoming stranded. This intentional stranding technique highlights the orca's advanced control of its environment. It is an advantage reserved for a predator willing to push beyond natural limits. When adult sea lions move offshore, the encounter shifts into an underwater pursuit. Orcas deliver powerful body impacts that make it harder for the sea lion to return to the surface. The sea lion attempts sharp 180-degree turns to navigate through openings. However, the urgent need for oxygen makes it difficult to maintain its initial agility. In the depths of the ocean, agility and tight social structure form a strong shield that protects dolphins. They move in coordination like a single entity, and rely on speeds of up to 25 miles per hour to evade solitary hunters. Yet nature holds a paradox in the form of the orca, the largest and most intelligent member of their own family. This apex predator understands how to turn those very strengths into a calculated trap. Using echolocation, orcas can detect targets from several miles away. Once the signal to engage is set, the group establishes pressure from both sides. They guide the dolphin pod into a narrowing corridor, limiting any chance to change direction. Dolphins may have stronger burst speed, but they cannot sustain it against the endurance of their opponent. The formation tightens, isolating exhausted individuals from the group in open water. The encounter concludes with a powerful surge that launches the target into the air. The outcome leaves a lasting impact, forcing surviving dolphins to alter their migration routes immediately. They begin to regroup into larger, tighter formations. These superpods become their strategy for continuing the long journey of survival. Gray whales are among the most resilient giants of the wild ocean. Weighing around 90,000 pounds, they are gentle in nature, yet capable of enduring vast migrations across thousands of miles. However, that sense of safety is quickly challenged in the waters off California, where orcas set up a calculated ambush. Their primary focus is often the calf. Orcas track from a distance, waiting for areas with complex currents or confined space. These conditions make it harder for the mother to maintain a stable protective formation. When the moment arrives, the orcas spread out and take turns closing in. This forces the mother to constantly change direction to shield her young. Each wave of pressure acts like a relentless test of endurance. It gradually drains the energy reserves of both mother and calf. The predators maintain continuous pressure, limiting the calf's ability to recover at the surface and extending the struggle over time. After hours of sustained fatigue, the balance begins to shift. The gained energy becomes a critical resource that supports the orcas in future hunts. Unlike gray whales, which tend to endure, humpback whales stand as true fighters, equipped with powerful 15-foot pectoral fins for defense. Their bold nature allows these giants to hold their ground in open waters, forming a living shield to protect their young. Yet that sense of security is quickly challenged when a pod of orcas appears and identifies a weakness in the maternal defense system. To overcome such a massive opponent, The orcas assemble groups of up to 30 individuals to maximize their numerical advantage. They deliberately avoid the sweeping reach of the pectoral fins while maintaining constant pressure at close range. 3 of the largest males dive deep before surging upward from below with immense force. This coordinated impact forces the whale off balance, disrupting its ability to maintain orientation. In response, the humpback counters with repeated tail strikes and sharp body rotations to reduce damage. The encounter becomes a prolonged test of endurance, stretching across dozens of miles. The outcome shifts only when one side begins to lose rhythm and stamina. In nature's most calculated contests, sheer size alone is never enough without strategy. Orcas once again demonstrate their dominance through remarkable intelligence and adaptability. A mistimed charge causes the king of the plains to lose its familiar dominance. In the animal world, the lion stands as a powerful predator, but it is never absolute. A single shift in direction from the prey is enough to throw off the closing approach. Even against other predators, a small mistake can push the lion into a vulnerable position. It is the moment when the entire savanna witnesses the first cracks in power. Among big cats, the lion stands out for its social lifestyle. Yet behind that unity lies competition over territory, reproduction, and rank. As a result, members of the same species can be both allies and significant threats. Nomadic male lions often form coalitions before challenging those that control a pride. Their strength in numbers allows them to apply pressure, separate rivals, and choose the right moment to move in. Roars, upright posture, and a full mane help signal strength. Encounters often end when the resident group withdraws, allowing a new coalition to take over the territory. After a takeover, dependent cubs may face serious risk from incoming males. This behavior allows females to return to a reproductive cycle sooner, increasing the chance of passing on the genes of the new group. Lionesses may work together to defend or move their young away from unfamiliar males. Even so, outcomes depend on numbers, terrain, and relative strength. Lionesses also help protect the living area from outsiders. They can gather, move in from multiple directions, and push intruders out of key resources. Control by a male coalition often lasts only a few years, though the exact period varies across populations. On the savanna, today's winner can be replaced tomorrow as the cycle of competition begins again. The zebra is a grazing animal with a striking striped coat, yet beneath that appearance lies the strength of a resilient fighter. With a body weight of around 770 pounds and spring-like legs, the zebra holds a burst of power that makes any predator cautious. The encounter intensifies when a lioness suddenly accelerates and leaps onto the side of an adult. Instead of collapsing under the pressure, the zebra braces its balance and pivots sharply on sloped ground. The sudden shift in direction disrupts the predator's momentum in an instant. At that moment, the zebra drives both hind legs with force, prompting the lioness to release and step back to regain control. In another situation, the entire savanna shifts with the rhythm of pounding hooves, rising dust, and a tightening formation as zebras group together for protection. The lion does not target the strongest individual. It patiently looks for a missed step, a moment of separation, or a slower young animal within the dust. Even so, when pressed too closely, some zebras can respond with a well-timed bite to create space. For lions, opportunity is never guaranteed, with only about 25% of hunts leading to a result. On the sunlit savanna, failure is not an end. It is the way nature sharpens survival instincts through incomplete attempts. The lion is a large social cat, drawing strength from muscle and discipline. An adult male weighs around 400 pounds, with its mane reflecting health and status. Across the African savanna, they often hunt at dawn, dusk, or during the night. Lionesses lead the rhythm of the hunt, while males protect the territory. For lions, power always comes with the responsibility of guiding the pride through the challenges of survival. In the African wilderness, size does not always determine everything, but for the hippopotamus, it is a major advantage. An adult can weigh over 4,000 pounds, with thick skin, extremely powerful jaws, and tusk-like teeth exceeding 1 foot in length. On calm water, that massive body creates a presence strong enough to make many predators keep their distance. Although not a pursuit hunter, the hippopotamus is well known for its ability to defend itself and protect its space. When lions swim across a river or move too close to its territory, the balance quickly shifts. A sudden surge from the water can create enough pressure to force an intruder to change direction and return to shore. When the dry season arrives, falling water levels push hippos out of their familiar refuge. On land, they are far more agile than their heavy appearance suggests. If a lion approaches too closely, the hippo can accelerate to around 20 miles per hour. using its mass and forward pressure to drive the opponent back. Even when facing a group of lions, an adult hippo can stand between danger and its young. Its immense body and determined advances help create space and gradually guide a path back to safer water. That encounter serves as a reminder. Around a hippopotamus, a single mistimed approach can carry significant risk. The throne of the king of the savannah has never been a peaceful privilege. It is a constant effort to defend territory under pressure. To maintain a range of more than 40 square miles, the lion must patrol continuously and face a highly organized rival, the spotted hyena clan. At midday on the grasslands, the encounter begins when a young male lion on patrol crosses paths with a large group of hyenas. Nearly 80 individuals gather, forming a curved formation and gradually closing the distance. This long-standing rival applies constant pressure, causing the solitary lion to lose energy over time. The situation only settles when it focuses its strength in one direction, creates an opening, and moves out of the encirclement. The pressure grows even greater when a lioness must defend a food source. Weighing around 140 pounds and equipped with powerful jaws, the hyenas do not rush in directly. They take turns applying pressure from multiple angles, forcing the lioness to keep turning to maintain space. Their goal is to push her away from the portion of food they aim to claim. In many cases, the lioness chooses to leave the food behind and move away to stay safe. The encounter ends, returning a solemn stillness to the sunlit savannah. At this boundary, the lion's power is always tested by awareness, endurance, and the ability to choose the right moment. On the African savanna, African wild dogs do not rely on muscle, but on speed, discipline, and nearly seamless coordination. An adult weighs only about 50 pounds, yet in a pack of around 20, they become one of the most unpredictable opponents for lions. Encounters often arise around a food source or near areas where the pack is raising young. When a lioness moves in, the pack immediately spreads out, then closes in with crossing runs. They avoid direct confrontation, taking turns applying pressure from multiple directions. This forces the lion to keep turning and lose its rhythm of control. On open ground, a speed of about 44 miles per hour becomes their greatest advantage. They stretch the distance, then return to apply pressure again. After a missed grab by the lion, the pack shifts like a spring, quickly resetting a safe distance in an instant. Their response does not come from weight, but from a pack instinct refined through coordination. Across the African savanna, antelopes are not just a food source, but formidable defenders. With lions, these are not animals that simply flee when pressured. Many species carry sharp horns, solid builds, and strong distance control. As a result, every charge carries the risk of a counter-response. Encounters with the gemsbok often unfold on dry ground, where lions use vegetation to close the gap. But when pressed too closely, the gemsbok lowers its head and turns its horns, measuring around 47 inches, into a barrier that is difficult to overcome. A single pause in front of those pointed tips is enough to disrupt the element of surprise. From an initial ambush advantage, the lion quickly pulls back to a safer distance. With the wildebeest, resistance comes from body mass, momentum, and the presence of the herd. An adult can weigh close to 600 pounds, with a heavy front build and enough force to make a predator hesitate. When the lion attempts to isolate a target from the edge, the animal turns and breaks the rhythm of the pursuit. In that moment, the lion's speed advantage begins to fade. In dense brush, the greater kudu relies on sharp turns and agile escapes. Its long legs and sudden changes in direction are enough to disrupt the lion's approach. Even the sable antelope can respond effectively if approached from the wrong angle. A single misjudgment in position can force the predator to withdraw. In the wild, true strength lies not only in the first charge, but in the ability to read the limits of an opponent. Orca success is built on a fusion of intelligence and discipline. They shape the rules of the encounter rather than simply reacting to it. Each hunt unfolds like a problem solved with maximum efficiency. If you find this compelling, be sure to like and subscribe for more. The ocean still holds countless secrets waiting to be discovered.